I guess you can watch on your phone.
That's true, that's true. I just want to make sure we are live, though.
Yeah.
Are we live now, or?
Don't trust the equipment. Or me. Definitely don't trust me with the equipment.
Yeah, we are live now, so we're good to go. Shared it on Facebook.
I forgot those do nothing.
This doesn't either, does it? So we're going straight,
Woo!
straight improv tonight with Alex Brock. Welcome.
Oh my god. Alright, buddy. We might have to talk loud.
Hey, that's fine. Icebreaker.
I feel like we're really close, but I like it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I wanted. I did all this on purpose. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully the other two videos deleted, but I'll get them deleted. We don't have any music. We do still have sponsors. Sarah K. Speed Shots, On Point Woodworks. Go give them a follow on Facebook. Welcome back to Turn Left Podcast. This is all news to y'all, because y'all couldn't hear anything. But last week, from 15th to 2nd, in the late model event, first race back at Dominion in quite a while, a couple years, right?
Yes.
And the youngest rookie of the year ever at Southside Speedway at 15 years young, Alex Brock, everybody. Give us all what's up. I guess I'm so used to saying, like, pull the mic in, but we don't have to worry about that right now.
Yeah, thank you for having me tonight. It's a huge blessing to be here. Also a great time to match the face with the name and just, get my story out there with people that might not know me that well, and just kind of go through what we've been through my career and just get a little bit deeper dive.
Cool. Yeah, man. I'm excited to hear about it. When we found out that we were having issues, you were just getting into where you got your start in racing. We got your pops backstage. He wasn't actually part of the racing, but he obviously got you into it, or you got into it. Tell us that story again, because I was also looking and reading comments and who knows what.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in the 70s and 80s, my dad and uncle helped Junie Dunleavy back in the Cup Series. They'd go to Talladega, all the races and all that. My uncle was actually on the official pit crew when they won their first ever race at Dover.
Really?
Yes. So
I had Mrs. Dunleavy as a teacher in elementary school. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? The teacher, the school teacher. I think she was his niece or his daughter.
okay, yeah.
She had red hair, curly hair. Well, anyway, I had her in elementary school. I think like 4th grade, 2nd grade.
Okay.
But either way.
Yeah, and it just kind of grew from there. With our family and Brock's Barbecue, we have a really good family connection. One of my dad's really good friends is his Denny Hamlin's manager and
really?
security guard at his house. So
oh, wow.
We have very good personal connections there. And anytime they would come to town, we would be catering the food at Southside Speedway, catering the food at Richmond Raceway. And I really remember my biggest memory was the 2008, 2009, and 2010 showdown at Southside Speedway, where there was Denny, Kyle, Joey, and all of us sitting in the press box over there in turn 2 at Southside, and just being able to be one-on-one with those guys as a 8-year-old kid. It was actually my birthday that day, so it was literally the coolest birthday present you could have as a 10-year-old kid. Just being around Cup drivers this close,
yeah,
just listening to, have no idea what they're talking on a technical scale. Now I would, but I was that 5-year-old kid that had over 200 Matchbox cars that always wanted to be a race car driver. In my 5th grade yearbook, they have a book that every kid in my class said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to be a race car driver."
Wow.
And I'm getting to live that every day, and it's just a dream come true to me.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And what about the, I think I know where you got it from, but tell the story maybe a little bit. Where did you get the name Barbecue Boy?
From Kenny Allen.
The legend.
Yes, from Kenny Allen.
That's kind of when you've made it, when you get a nickname from Kenny Allen.
Yes, ever since I first met him, he called me Barbecue Boy. And, great guy, great family. And, awesome there.
Can I get one of you beautiful gentlemen? You don't have to be on camera. Just walk behind it, and can you just straighten it up a little bit? I don't want this whole video to be. Look at how we're off the rails here. So
Gotcha.
like I said, I don't want the whole thing to be kind of like, see how the whole thing is tilted that way? Yeah, just pull down on it. There we go. Wait, so better, Alex? Perfect. Cool. All right, well, I'm watching myself do it now. It's kind of weird. All right, cool. And so you got that from Kenny Allen. How old were you when you got your nickname?
I would say I never really met Kenny Allen whenever I was racing. I don't know if I did meet Kenny Allen really when I was racing racing U cars, maybe a couple times, but really became good friends with him when we first started racing the late models.
Okay.
And that's really where I think I got that name, was being that 15-year-old rookie of the year at Southside Speedway that rookie season.
Yeah.
Just because at 15 years old, going from a U car to a late model, you were called an idiot. I mean, it was
back then.
Yes, yes.
Now it's common.
We created a trend that is a standard now, and I don't think people really realize that. That, you know, they had to literally change the rules at Southside Speedway. You had to have a driver's license to be able to race a late model.
Oh, I know.
And
Trust me.
Jennifer specifically knew my character and amended that just for me.
They didn't change the rule for me. I had to wait till I was 16 to race street stocks. 'Cause it used to be across the board, U-Car and everything, you had to be 16. I think U-Car, then they lowered it to 15, then to 14. But
Yes.
what is the common rule about late model, how young you can be now?
Right now, I think it's 14. There is a couple drivers, I know Shenandoah's like 10, 11, like Minnie did.
Yeah.
And, you know.
He's like 3.
But yeah, it's like 14 now, I think is the age.
Ryan Matthews said, "Big time Brock."
Thanks again for your help last Friday, man.
What's up, Ryan Matthews? Mom Patty said, "Yeah, much better." So that's the thing. Yo, what's the challenge for today? Well, we might get to that actually. The challenge for today was just getting the show working without me burning this whole studio down. So I've said that before, but I think I kind of meant it. Y'all saw the panic and the fear in my eyes. You know, I was trembling.
Shout out to everybody watching. My girlfriend Taylor. Thank you everybody for being on here tonight and watching. It really means a lot to me.
Yeah, and sorry for whatever happened. I will attempt to diagnose it later tonight or tomorrow. That's never happened though.
Hey,
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
first time with Brock, you know.
Yeah. I blame Alex. I did shortly while we were off though too. I was like, what did you do? So, who is your favorite local? Who's your favorite late model driver? It could be big time, somebody you've never met, anybody. We'll go local later. Nate Sellers?
Nate Sellers.
You've met him plenty of times.
Absolutely. I'm going to the track tomorrow to help him. I've missed only one race this year. We've won 10 races so far this year with him. Whenever I'm not driving my car, I'm out there helping the Sellers group. Just doing everything I can to learn.
Would that have been your answer before you started working with him?
Absolutely. I've always, before we even started racing late models, Peyton was always, he's a class act guy, he carries himself well, and me as a driver, that's what I try to be transparent about, and try to, mimic that.
Okay. And you said obviously you're not running for points this year at Dominion because last week was your first race back.
Yes.
Are you going to run any other races or any more at Dominion, any more at other tracks?
Yes, we're planning on running a few more races at Dominion, just trying to pick and choose and the right dates and all that. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, because if you went all the way from 15th to 2nd, what was that like? Did you have just a ton of speed? What was it like being back in the car for the first time?
It was awesome. We unloaded Friday, had our struggles, but being with the Sellers group, man, they're able to diagnose things very quickly and get the car in the direction that just really made us get after it Friday. Because we had tested all day, and then Peyton had tested all day as well, and they ended up packing up because they were done, and his crew ended up coming over and helping us as well Friday evening. And we were really able to make a ton of changes to make the car right. And then Saturday when we unloaded, had some consistent speed. Didn't qualify the best, just a little bit free in qualifying, and started 13th. We had a missile that first race. Just coming through the field, just got absolutely rode through. Did a 360 turn, and messed the tire up, and it was bad.
Caused you to start 15th the next race,
yes.
Obviously also.
But shout out to my crew chief last week, Eric Winslow, and this whole team. They threw the kitchen table and some at it, and it was either going to work or we were going to at least be where we were, and we went through the field like a madman.
Mm-hmm.
We passed all but 2 cars because 2 wrecked battling each other.
Yeah.
But other than that, we literally passed 13 cars and just got 2 freebies. I mean, we were digging, and I did not touch 1 car. We just had that much ball speed.
It's impressive. And are you, so obviously, is the next race twins, do you know?
Yes. I'm pretty sure they run twins every race up there that I know.
Do it. What's up with that?
National points. The biggest thing is trying, every track now is just trying to get twins out there because every track wants to be able to say the national champion came from our track.
I know it makes sense. It's just You're asking a lot to make these late model guys race twins every week.
Yes.
Do you prefer twins or no?
I do, because, I mean, if you think about it, had last week been a single race, like the first race, we would have been hanging our heads. But, you know, it gives you that boost of confidence to go out the second race and just truly get after it.
There's also people that win the first race and they get jumped in the second, though. So that you can't take that out of
Yes, I mean,
possibility.
whatever race is clean, the other one is always opposite.
Yeah.
Always.
Also, Justin Smith said he met you on iRacing through a mutual friend. You're a good guy.
Appreciate that.
What's up, Taylor? What's up, Andrew? Teresa, Howard? Everybody said the sound is better as well. Thank you. Ronnie Vance, what's up, buddy? And Landon Pimpleton, Big Time Brock. Is that your nickname? Are you changing from Barbecue Boy to Big Time Brock on me now?
We've been called Big Time. We've been called Big Block Brock. I mean, we've been called a little bit of everything.
Where'd you get the name Big Block Brock
That's from old Dustin Rumley down there at Ace Speedway, man. Yeah.
Why was he calling you that?
That's our iRacing names, man. We give them iRacing.
Okay, it's from iRacing?
Yeah,
Okay.
we give each other all sorts of names, man. And it's all the sellers racers.
So how often do you play iRacing? How long have you been doing that? 'Cause, I mean, were you doing that before you started racing real cars?
No, I got it in, I'd say 2014, and, you know, we raced the heck out of it during quarantine. I think this was a funny story. Not very funny in the beginning, but unfortunately when Blake Morris passed away, it really brought together a good friendship between all these late model guys. I mean, every day it was me, Sergio Pena, Landon Pimpleton, Ryan Matthews, Colby Stottlemyre, Tyler Hughes, Brendan Queen. There was about 15 of us from sunlight to sundown. I was telling Dad that I was studying for exams, but we were getting ready.
Racing every day?
And it was a party. I mean, them guys, we had fun.
Yeah.
Every day we were all having fun because we couldn't go to the track. We couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Mid-April, it was a terrible situation, but it brought together so many people and created so many great friendships out of it. But, you know, all of us, and we still race together all the time. We had a blast.
Who is your main sponsor?
A Plus Roofing.
Oh, you even wore the shirt?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they can see it
Yep.
on there. Our angle's a little weird tonight too, because I was in a rush, as y'all can tell. I was Russian and American at the same time. What's up, Patrick Boer? Oh, he said no, it's Brockhead. What does that mean?
I don't know. He calls me that, man. I get a nickname from almost everybody. I mean, the thing is, though, all these nicknames I'm getting, there's not one that's bad. You know, there could be a lot of bad nicknames out there.
Yeah. Not a bad one yet.
I'm the people's people. I really do think so. I mean, you know, knock on wood here. I'm liked a lot more than I am hated. I don't know a lot of people that do hate me.
Yeah. What up, Chris Carroll and
Chris Carroll's in the house tonight.
Ryan said Alex Brock is a beast of South Boston on iRacing with that cheese.
Yeah, we
What's
got
that mean?
It's a specific thing we've learned on iRacing that gets about 4 or 5 tenths that we ain't gonna talk about. Just know that.
I'm glad my computer's down, bro.
Yeah, just remember when we did that late model versus U-car drivers, we had cheese.
Patrick Brewer said he's a cool guy. So who's your favorites in lower? I guess we'll just keep it that. What about limited late model?
Limited late model. I'm trying to think. Eric Winslow, man, he's just like us. Works his butt off for everything that he has. Has a first class program that he's doing. He was my crew chief last weekend, and you know he's making it to the track. He runs good. Limited, absolutely. And Ryan Matthews as well up at Dominion Raceway. I think of that as the Dominion racer. Ryan Matthews as well. I mean, he's won so many races up there, and you know they have a dynamite program.
Eric Winslow's watching too.
Yeah, when you think of the 2 best limited racers in the country, I would say Ryan Matthews and Eric Winslow. I mean, I really would.
Do they run for national points too?
They have Division 2 or 3. I think Limiteds right now is at South Boston is Division 2, and Dominion Racer is Division 3.
Okay. Division 3. Okay, yeah.
Because Modified is Division 2.
Well, who's your favorite modified driver?
Modified driver, man, I always loved Thomas Stinson because he was a friend of my dad. And
Oh, really?
Yes, just awesome guy.
How long have you known him, Dad?
Since high school.
Since high school, wow. Have
Actually,
we given you a shout out since we've been on this broadcast?
Actually,
oh, no.
we used
got
to-
Alex's dad.
we used to coon hunt together when we were kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What about that's crazy. So you've pretty much known him your whole life. Wow.
And then Trevor's wife worked at a restaurant, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, because she would always leave early on Friday nights to go watch Thomas race, and we would go with them. So
Yeah.
I could be that 10-year-old kid to go to Victory Lane.
Just shut the restaurant down on Friday nights.
I know.
I need to get by there. Do y'all still have a drive-through, or was that
Yes.
temporary for COVID?
Nope, still rolling with the drive-through. Buffet's back open, so
Do you work there at all, or just at A+?
just an A+.
But you still give it a shout out when you can.
Absolutely.
This episode is sponsored by Brock's Barbecue. They're not going to pay because all the audio went bad, and it's a fake one. But and which hot sauce did you pick for the end?
I think I'm gonna hold off on that.
Oh, here we go. He's already backpedaled. Y'all heard him think about it earlier. I got it backstage of people. I got witnesses. He was like, "Oh yeah, sauce ain't nothing." Did you hear that? He said a sauce ain't nothing.
Yeah, because people are gonna screenshot stuff and make some faces out of me that's gonna appear on the internet later. So I'm just trying to save my butt, man.
To be honest, I really don't want to do it either, so I'm totally happy with that.
Yeah. There's people who are out there. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I can't
They're
even
watching.
imagine. Thankfully, it hasn't happened to me yet, but
Yeah.
I'm not as cool either. So people, you know. All right. So, what about your favorite, like Grand Stock driver or Dominion Stock? It could be any track. You know,
Austin
like,
Dodge. I always looked up to Austin whenever I was a U-car driver, and before that, he was, in my opinion, just when I was coming up, like he's going to be the next Denny Hamlin, man. He was.
Yeah, she was still young then.
Yes. I remember when I first started racing, they
He's
had
still young now.
they had a paper because he had just graduated high school, and from LC Bird, they had him in the paper. That was my idol at the time, was Austin Dodge. I want to be just like him.
He was mine too, kind of a little bit. He was younger than me though, so it was kind of like. But he was in a higher division. I was in street stock, he was in Grand Stock, so.
But always carried himself well, class act, and
Yeah.
I always try to partake in somebody that has a class act and really represents himself well.
Well, I, as a Kyle Busch fan, do not. That's why I put the Jeff Gordon one on your side and the
Yeah.
Kyle Busch one on my side. You noticed that?
Yeah.
Were you a Jeff Gordon fan?
No, I was a Dale Jr. fan my whole life.
Oh, really?
Yep, little week, all
Alright.
day.
I might have some for you if you want it.
Okay. His favorite U-car driver?
No,
No,
Bandolero.
Bandolero.
You thought you were gonna.
Oh man,
Yeah, see?
I like Brendan's cousin Riley Music, man. He is a good. I racing with him. He's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you got a rig?
Yep, he's awesome.
Wow. How old is he?
He's like, I don't know off the top of my head. He's at least 12, because he has a late model now. So,
Really?
Yes.
He's got a late model?
Yes. I think he was telling me he got Mini Tyrell's car. I think one of his older ones.
So it's already got the seat set up and everything for him. Did him. He's probably already taller than me. No
Yeah.
offense to Minnie. Shout out to Minnie. He's doing awesome.
He is. Brandon
He's a
Butler and
beast.
that crew are rolling on that car.
Yes. Legends.
Legends. I really don't know the Legends field right now, man.
He used to say, I really don't like Tommy Johnson Jr. I'm like, whoa, dude.
No, I mean,
controversial statement.
I really don't know anybody. I've never talked to Tommy, and we've always been at the racetrack together all these years. I've never said a word to him, and he's been racing as long as I have.
Really?
So I look forward to meeting you one day, man. But no, I've never talked to
You
him.
can watch this episode that we had.
Yeah.
There was no power. There was a generator running outside. and
Oh
stuff.
my
It was fun.
gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. What about, all right, U-Car. What's your favorite U-Car driver?
Mike Chapman, where you at, buddy?
What, dude? Add another one to the tally. I
Yeah.
can't believe you didn't say me. It's so
You know,
offensive.
This is crazy because when we first started,
Can't believe he didn't say me, dude. It's so offensive.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm just
I
kidding.
hold Mike dear to
I
my
always
heart.
tell people they're not allowed to, but I can tell you weren't setting up to say that.
Yeah. Mike, it was crazy. When we first got into this U-Car deal, it was Daniel Thomas and Steve Little renting us a car. And Mike was actually driving the car that I was going to be renting. And we show up to Daniel Thomas's house the first time, and I'm looking at his car, and Daniel's car, I'm like, and I had no idea this was Mike Chapman standing there. And I'm thinking in my head, no matter what they do to these cars, they're not going to beat Mike Chapman.
Yeah.
And then I was like, so what are we going to do to beat that Mike Chapman guy? And Daniel's like, well, Mike Chapman's going to be driving your car Friday night. What does he do? He goes out there and wins. And, he's always been a great friend of mine ever since.
Yeah, he likes to rub it in that way.
Yeah.
Trust me, I split seat time with him.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what you did, but I had to do it every other race.
Yeah. Okay.
My first year in. I could do it now and have some pride. That year,
Yeah.
I'm losing week after week, and every week he's winning. He won the first 3 in a row. I lost the first 3 in a row. It's like, dude. And one night I asked Bud, I said, he's like, oh man, you did really good. I said, tell me something right now. Do you think if Chapman was in the car tonight, you would have won this race? He said, you didn't have to ask me. You know what I mean? Like, it was true.
Yeah.
If Chapman would have been in the car that night, they would have won the race. You know what I mean? But I think it was like my first or second one, but either way.
You don't want to race with him on iRacing, though, man. I'll tell you.
Oh, I've raced with him in U cars against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, trust me. But he's not
Clear
bad on me.
contact.
Yeah, he's not bad on me. One night we thought that he got into us real bad, but actually BJ got into us that sent us down into Chapman. It's a long story. But, all right, what about your favorite NASCAR driver? You said it was always Dale Jr. What about now?
I like Kyle Larson and Ryan Preece because they both come that grassroots racing that, absolutely can wheel a race car, and they have absolutely amazing car control, and just can get it done.
Yeah. Derek Cook said congrats on P2 last week, buddy.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. It was still on cloud 9.
What is up, Crystal? Landon Pimbleton said 13. That's how he was talking about. Maybe the late model age? That was a long time ago.
Okay.
I don't know. Billy T, what is up, buddy? Peyton Lee, what's up?
Little Tressler. Shout out to you, buddy.
Let's say, do you know these people? I read off names. There could be people. There's some people in like Australia. I just say the name when I hear it. Normally I've got the TV set up.
I know, man. I'm gonna have to come on for part 2.
I'm just full of excuses, aren't I?
That's alright.
We tried.
We'll have the barbecue pack right here sitting for next
The
time.
TV was working. That's not working. All right. What about your favorite? Do you know Xfinity or truck drivers? Do you know them well enough to pick one?
As far as a driver, I really couldn't say, but as far as a team, I really love what Sam Hunt Racing is doing right now. Because, I used to help Sam Hunt for a little bit back in 2014 whenever I started late model racing. I was helping them on the Canyon car in the shop, just trying to learn as much as possible, which
I didn't know that.
I was in over my head. I didn't know what I was doing, but, I learned a lot about just working on race cars and the simple stuff.
Yeah.
And, I do carry
They
that.
were like, sweep the floor. He's like, I can't handle this. I don't know how.
So, I learned a lot from that group, and because also Sam went to John Tyler, and then he went to VCU exactly like I did.
Oh, really?
Sam and me had the exact same professors.
Oh, wow.
So we literally are same
path.
Same style degree, and he went off to Charlotte because I would tell my professors I'm racing, they're like, Sam Hunt? And I'd be like, yeah, this is what he's doing now. They're like, oh my gosh, really? So, it was really cool to just follow that same career path pretty much.
That was cool of him to let you come work at a shop at 14 too.
Yes, absolutely.
He paid you less than minimum wage though. So
It was all volunteer.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And yeah, I think ever since the country music singer did Sam Hunt's downfall, I think that Sam Hunt's actually the more famous one now. The Xfinity driver.
I know.
Jesse Vaughn just spotted for him last weekend.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. He was on here last week. That's what I'm bringing up. The favorite track. What's your favorite track to race at first? What's your favorite one to drive at?
My most favorite track is definitely Dominion.
Oh, really?
I could drive that track with a blindfold. It's like every time I go there, I just absolutely can get after it and get it done.
Smooth.
It's very smooth, and I just I hold a good wheel, and I can just make it happen there. I can pass cars cleanly. I know my line, and I love it.
What about your favorite track to spectate?
Spectate, it's either going to be Martinsville for the big late model race or Southern National. I love Southern National. That's also probably my second favorite track to race at.
Dominion.
Yes.
Similar to Dominion too.
Yes.
Very bull ring, but big. Well, big in our. What about your favorite NASCAR track other than Martinsville? Or you can include Martinsville. But you said the big late model race in Martinsville, so I'm not sure if you just meant Martinsville for all divisions or what?
Pretty much all, because Martinsville, we were always going to all the races at Martinsville, and it's by far my favorite track because when NASCAR kind of went down the drain, that was still the only race that you could go to, and it'd actually be really good racing.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, and Richmond's not bad, but I mean, it seems like Bristol, Martinsville, we're actually pretty blessed, and we take it for granted. Like, there's this podcast out in California, shout out On the Hammer. There's these guys that run dirt cars, and they have a podcast, like 3 or 4 guys. And I always think about it, I'm like, they could never go to a Bristol race or a Martinsville race.
No.
Like, I could never go to an Auto Club Speedway or like some of these crazy tracks. Like,
Yes.
I would never travel across the country for a NASCAR race.
No.
I don't even go to Richmond most of the time when it's over there. Even though I like to, it's just I'm busy, but
Yes.
I definitely wouldn't. Even back when I was, no kids and everything, I wouldn't be able to go to a different state. Or
Yes.
like, not a different state, but you know what I'm saying, like across the country like that. So I'm like, these guys would never, one of them actually has been to Martinsville and stuff, because he used to live in Tennessee, but
Okay.
still, like I said, we take it for granted. We don't have to
Yes.
think about how close all these tracks are.
Absolutely.
And they're a lot better than some of the, just 1.5 mile cookie cutters.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I love the short track racing. I mean, that's where we come from.
Have you ever raced at Martinsville?
Yes, not raced, but I've
Practice.
gone to test day 3 times, just to get
What was
experience.
that like?
And I'm gonna tell you what, the first time we ever went, we literally bought this brand new Hedgecock car. It was state of the art.
What'd you call it?
Brand new Hedgecock car. We went there in 2015. It was a funny story. It was me, Chris Dotson, and Joe Zuskin, I'm sorry, Steve Zuskin. All of us went on test day. And just the time of my life, man. I mean, we were going so fast that we had a brand new windshield in there, and you just start seeing rainbow colors.
Really?
Because
The
it was
vibration?
going so fast and the vibration and everything. I mean, it's just unreal.
Well, what is it like to be on a track that you've been your favorite track of all time? One of my favorite tracks of all time is obviously Southside Speedway. But as far as like it'd almost be like when Jesse Jones runs the Bristol race.
Yes.
Like to actually go through the tunnel and actually take your car out on the track, it has to feel somewhat surreal, or maybe, I don't know, it has to feel some type of way, as the kids are saying nowadays. So what was that like? Just actual, even on the pace laps when you're like, this is insane, I'm actually driving around Martinsville.
I mean, it was absolutely incredible. I think my best memory was test day in 2017 when they first brought the lights in. It was the first time they ever cut the lights on, for public at least.
Yeah.
And man, it was just absolutely amazing. Because, I mean, our whole lives, man, we just thought of Martinsville as this day track.
Yeah.
It turned into a whole...
It was like a state park.
It's a whole other track.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even feel like I was on the same track. I felt like I had to learn a whole new track.
Really?
That different.
Wow. And the track temperature is much cooler than it's ever been.
Yes, you gotta change everything, man.
Yeah.
Martinsville Test Day, people don't realize, unless you go to it, how crazy it is. People sit because you can park in the cup garage on Test Day. There are people, historically, it used to be Test Day, not night. So we would show up there at 4 in the morning, and there'd be probably 500 people in line, 100 cars, all the way from down in the valley, all the way up to the road. People would sign in, go to their trailer and get jack stands, and there would be 100 people sprinting to the cup garage to get a spot. I mean, it was push each other. I mean, it was like Black Friday.
Fought somebody?
I mean, people were it was crazy. Like, people with jack stands just trying to run to the cup garage.
People over the head of the jack stand?
I mean, people that have been to Martinsville know that on test day, you have a body, something, and you are sprinting to the cup garage because you're in the AC kind of, not AC, but they have fans in there, it's comfortable, you're in the shade. It's an all-out war to get you a spot in the cup garage.
I didn't realize I was out of frame. But yeah, no, you're right. And because it's a lot better to be over there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And plus you're in the cup garage,
It is a lot cooler too.
Yes.
Well, yeah, pun intended. What about there was another track question I had for you that I wanted to ask about, which oh yeah, no, not a track question. What's been your favorite division? But you went straight from UCAR straight from late model, right?
Yes, I've never raced anything but that.
Okay, well obviously I'm sure you prefer the late model. Have you driven a UCAR since you've gotten out of them?
I have not. I haven't raced a U-Car since 2014. So I know they changed with sway bars and hubs and...
It's a cheater UCAR driver. He's never even...
I mean, they've changed all sorts of stuff now. We race with the stock wheels. I mean, so I don't know what the difference is.
That was crazy, yeah.
So I would love to get in one. So if anybody has a top-notch U-Car, I'd like to bring back Alex Brock to the track and see what I can do against them boys.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
especially at Dominion. I mean, you
Yes.
know the track so well.
yes.
You got to think when you started racing those at Southside Speedway, did you know anything about racing, or were you just like, did it have a 5-speed? How long did that take you to learn?
I knew how to drive. This is funny. I knew how to drive a 5-speed at 9 years old.
Oh,
My
really?
dad had a 1987 Ford Ranger that we used to do. I think we put 53 miles on it on a like less than a quarter-mile circle track in our front yard one day. 53 miles. Yeah, just digging. And then,
Respect to the pops, yeah.
And then
I think I started like 12 or 13, but 9 is
9
what you
years
be
old.
doing
And
5 speeds.
Dad said we got to give it up when I put it on 2 wheels and about barrel rolled it.
Yeah, that's not good.
So yeah,
At least you got through the gears, obviously. Or else
absolutely.
you weren't fast enough to do that. Well, okay, so that part was never a challenge.
No, none whatsoever. It was. I think my biggest thing was Steve and Daniel were always like, "Get up to the wall, get up to the wall." I just had this fear of being up next to the wall. I don't know
Everybody,
what it was.
yeah, I did too.
So other than that, you know, it just took me a while. It took us up until the end of 2013, I think, to really grasp what it was like. Because I mean, you got to think when we were racing U-Cars, we were racing with, like I would say, a Martinsville style field every week. You had me, Daniel Thomas, Ronnie Vance, Mike Chapman, Frank Silver, Rusty Bennett, Michael Hall, Jesse Jones. There was just the cream of the crop. Tyler Davis. I mean, you name it. David Kearns. It was the cream of the crop. Every week there was at least Jamie Height. I forgot about him. I mean, he was winning all the races back then. I mean, there was the cream of the crop. Every week we showed up. It was a packed field, and trying to race against that back then was
It
crazy.
hasn't gotten any easier, but it
No, not
can't get much harder than that.
it was the cream of the crop, you know. And one thing I always appreciated about the U-Car field that you don't really see in any other divisions is just how close of a family that Bud and Jennifer has created with that division. Everybody there, rain or shine, racing or not, there's a family there. And that's something that I can say that Bud and Jennifer has really created with that division.
Yeah. I hated all my competitors. I'm just kidding. I've had most of them on the show. I'm just kidding. What about, and yeah, you are right actually, because yeah, that is a tight-knit group. And street stock was a little bit like that, but U-Cars is definitely like that. Because even going up to Grand Stock, something about being inside those pits. Seriously, because when you're in the back pits, everybody just kind of chills and walks around. When you're in the inside pits, it is hot as lava. I almost dropped a cousin. But it is hot, I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? So, and what is that? Is that just because there's no, I don't know. I don't know if just the cars going around you. It seems like every track is hotter in the infield than it is outside of the track.
I guess because you're down in a pit.
It should be, I guess so. I think if you dig a hole in the ground, it's cooler down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, do we have a scientist watching that can explain that for us? Oh, Aaron Donnelly was watching, did I tell you that?
Okay.
Matt Cheatham, Ryan Vance is watching again, Teresa, what's up? If Blaine wasn't a second in points, the option would be open for you to drive his U-Car. Ronnie said that.
Well, I appreciate that. Me and Ronnie, we always have fun.
What's up, Scott Lang? What'd y'all say? You could just say that really loud.
I just said it was the thermals.
Let's say we don't have the mics hooked up anyway, so y'all can hop in there anytime you want, just gotta talk loud. Did you have anything other than, is that your only like main sponsor? Do you have any other sponsors you want to plug or anything?
Rock's Barbecue,
I know
Summers
it's like
Racing, and the new shingle company. I do want to give them this plug in with A Plus Roofing. We are we were just voted best roofer in Richmond,
Ooh.
and we are in the top 1% of roofers in all of North America. And Atlas 3M Scotchgard, we offer the only shingle on the market that guarantees it will never streak from algae for the life of the shingle. So if you like your roof looking beautiful forever,
How could that even, okay, I won't challenge you because
I know
sales
it.
thing.
I know it.
Wow.
Yes, it's the only shingle, and it's backed by 3M.
Is it expensive?
Yeah, I can get it for the same price as your standard shingle. It's
Oh,
a
really?
no-brainer. Yes.
You might have already said that, my bad. Wow. And, okay, how long is it typically, I guess it depends on the house, what is the wait time usually on, it cuts off as soon as it's done. What's the wait time usually on getting a roof done?
You know, if you come to me right now, I can give you a free estimate. I come out to your house, you can deal with Alex.
Free roof?
A free estimate,
Oh.
not a free roof. No, ain't nothing
kidding,
free
everybody.
around here, but I can give you a free estimate, and,
Yes, it's free.
you know, I can get you done in a week and a half.
Really?
And our guys are so fast, it's bang, 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 we'll be done in less than a day.
See, I went with this other company, and no, I'm just kidding. They're gonna be watching. Remember that one night you called in and you're like, if y'all need any roofing things? And he was on the show, he's like, I do roofing. We don't call them. Anyway, what's your favorite race of all time? Could be in any division or any track or whatever. What's your favorite, like, was it the other night when you went 15th second? I mean,
It really was, man. The other night,
because a couple of years ago you finished second to,
Philip Morris.
yeah.
That was probably the most fun race I've ever had in my life. We were up there battling in the first race. I got a little bit too ballsy there and drove it in, hit the marbles, and washed up the track, and got a little bit too much fuel in the carburetor, and flames were shooting up over the.
Oh my God.
So we worked our way back up to 8th, which gave us that invert to start on the pole for the second race, and we got the lead. We led about half the race, and Colin Garrett, Sellers at the time, ended up passing us, and for about 15 laps, my spotter said, there's a car behind you, you're pulling away, your car behind you, pulling away on your nose. Did not tell me it was Philip Morris until we crossed the checker flag, because he knew if he told me it was Philip Morris, I was going to get in my head and freak out.
Yeah, for
And then,
sure.
You know, the other night it was awesome because we went from 15th to second, but the most cool thing about it was when we got to about 5th, I caught Peyton on his back bumper as far as on a restart, being on the outside line with him, and we just did the Sellers train all the way to the front, man. It was awesome. On the final restart of the night, it was Sellers 1-2. We fired off at the exact same time and finished 1-2. I mean, it was an unbelievable Sellers racing 1-2 night.
Yeah, because if you want to talk about a stacked field like you were talking about with UCAR back in the day, right now at Dominion, the late model field is, we were talking about this last week, I think, with Jesse. The late model field right now is so insanely stacked.
Yes.
And it's some of the best racing, actually, because late model racing there has always been good, but
Yes.
it's especially good right now.
Yes, very.
And maybe a contradictory statement, I think almost somehow the limited late models, I thought it was going to hurt them, but it didn't. You know, now some of the slower guys have moved down to that, and they're more competitive, and there's just enough of them now to actually, that works very well. 'Cause there's plenty of Dominion racers. What do we even call them? Dominion stuff? No.
Dominion racers. That's why when you said favorite limited driver earlier, I automatically thought of a limited late model, not Dominion racer.
Okay, yeah, well, I don't even know the difference. There shouldn't be 9 different late model divisions. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate what they're doing with that series though, because it brings back the driver ability, because it's a spec shock, it's a spec crate motor that you got to go from the dealership and get, and a spec carburetor, and specific things you can do, spec ride height, everything. So it literally brings in what late models were at, say, about 10, 15 years ago, to where if you had a car back then, you can go racing again.
I'm going to play devil's advocate against myself and you kind of. Wouldn't it be fair to say, though, that so is the Dominion stock division? There are a lot of stock spec type stuff. Wouldn't it just, like, all those guys, if you split them in half, the back half of the field would have to join Dominion stocks or whatever, and then the top half of the field would have to join late models. Obviously, you wouldn't have an extra division, but both fields would be bigger.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, the reason is because, you know,
What's better?
every chassis in the Dominion Racer is a late model chassis, where in the Dominion stock it's a Camaro or whatever, street car.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's for late model drivers that can't compete with the budgeting of Peyton Sellers and stuff like that.
Or just, with the
Well,
cost
how'd you
of
buy a
racing.
late model?
The times have changed. You wouldn't believe what the cost has just risen to. I mean, just anybody on a small
6
basis.
digits.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. At a minimum.
Hands down.
At a minimum.
To run in the mid-pack.
Yes.
So that's why I was talking about David Callahan. What he's doing right now is impressive. I found out, because I said on the show, I wasn't sure who owns the car or what, but they own the car. The family owns the car. They work on it in the garage in the house.
Yes.
And he's got the points lead right now. He's won 2 races. I don't know. I just know that, not that they don't have any money in the car, it's just what they're doing is definitely impressive.
Yes,
What they're up against.
Yes.
Like we were just saying, that the division is so stacked. You got Peyton Sellers in there. It's just, it never ends.
Yeah. Davey, unfortunately, he had a mechanical failure the other night that I think that put him back a little bit in both races, and I think he's back in like 4th or 5th in points now.
Is he?
Because of that, yeah.
I thought he had the points lead
He
still.
did going into it. maybe I'm wrong, but when I looked at it the other night, Peyton Sellers is now leading the points.
Alright, well, when I made that post on Facebook, Davey, that I thought you, my bad.
But Davey is a wheelman.
I think I said in the thing where I showed the YouTube video of the podcast, I think I said the current points leader of the. But I watched that on somebody posted that on Facebook. Can we get an update?
Yeah, because I'd like to, because I looked on it the other day on Dominion Raceway, and it was, showed Peyton in the points lead, and Davey was either second or third, I think.
Okay. What is up again, Scott Lang? A lot of people showed it twice. So you said your plans for the rest of the year, go back to Dominion. Do you have any other tracks in mind?
I would really like, with us being working with sellers, I would love to go to Martinsville and finally do the full deal. But
Yeah.
of course, that takes funding and all that, so if there's anybody watching, we can crowdfund it,
Yeah.
We got spots on the back, here, we'll put your name on the back, deck lid, let's make it happen. Ride along with Alex, let's get our road to Martinsville.
You have to throw rocks on there somewhere, bro.
Absolutely,
We gotta at least put a sticker on there. I'll put a rock sticker in here. Oh yeah. He also brought over this awesome montage. What would that be called?
A collage.
Collage of pictures, pretty much of your entire Southside Speedway career. We even got
Yeah.
the U car up there. What inspired that look on that U car?
Really?
Yeah, maybe were you even involved with that?
No, the first time I ever saw the design, my dad was pulling it back into the driveway. I had no idea. He designed it with Buck Roos up at, I think Sticker Shock at the time when he was working there, or he owned the company.
And you might have said this earlier. I think it was the first question I asked you. I think I was still trembling and anxiety. Who got you into racing? Was it your idea or his idea? Were you a big NASCAR fan? Were you a big NASCAR fan?
We're both huge NASCAR fans. We always, because he used to, you do the demo derbies and stuff out at Southside back in the day, but really, it was just, I always wanted to do it.
The street stock division.
We thought about that. Me and Dad had this dynamite plan, and Mike, shut us down because we realized we couldn't have a fiberglass body. But we were going to get an 80s Camaro and go out there in the streets. Corvette.
Oh yeah.
Corvette and go to their rear end, but we could not because
it's a sports car. You can't have a sports car either.
Yeah, so we had this dynamite plan. We were going to make it happen. We were going to win all these races, man. And then boom, Mike and I was like, nope, can't do that, man.
There's a couple different rules that prevented that. There was, because I looked at stuff like that too. Like, I wonder if I could just, And I think a lot of people are thinking that kind of stuff, especially in his reign of dominance. I mean, he won so many races.
I know.
The only thing I can compare it to is Austin Dodge's Grand Stock final season. That was Mike and Oath every year for like 5 years. It was insane.
I mean, he was wicked in a late model too. I mean, he drove it like a street stock, but he could wheel a car.
So he does the Dominion Racers now.
Yep.
Limited places, but they're not limited late models.
They are technically.
You're confusing me now.
I know. Dominion has a name for every division up there. So.
Why do the Dominion stocks look like late models?
That's one thing.
That.
I know. I hate it because I love the '80s Aero Coupe. Monte Carlos. Just in my opinion, they ruined that series by adding those bodies, man. Bring them back to the old '80s NASCAR stuff, man.
I have a picture of one.
I know it saves weight and all that, and I guess cheaper in the long run for.
It's not.
Okay, I didn't know how that worked, but.
Not in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do I know?
But I love those Aero Coupe bodies, man. The Austin Dodge Classic, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can buy, granted the Aero Coupe, I don't know if you can get, but the standard Monte Carlo panels you could buy from Stock Car Products.
Yeah, I wish.
Back when they changed everything, you could literally buy quarter panels, doors, fenders, all skins, all-star, or five-star bodies, whatever. And they were cheap too, like pretty much the same thing. You'd have to go pull one off at a junkyard.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the same price, and it was already skinned out, ready to go, and everything.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that rule pissed me off since day one.
I know.
Because I only did Grand Stock for 1 year, but they were talking about it. This is back when they used to do the drivers' meetings, street stocks and Grand Stocks at the same time or something maybe.
Yeah.
So they were talking about it before that. I'm like, that's so stupid. And then now, like Todd Rogel's the only one that has a real car.
Yeah.
Everybody else has a limited late model with a stock frame from some POS. What's up, Justin Trice? Any plans to race at Dominion? Probably not, buddy. Peyton is leading in points. Damn.
Yeah, so we're leading the national points, leading the Mid-Atlantic region, leading the track points in South Boston and Dominion and state of Virginia.
Really?
And we have the national points by like 130 some points right now.
Really?
Yes.
Damn, so what you said, I didn't see that. I wasn't at Dominion, my brother was, but I was at like a retirement party thing.
It's been an absolute clinic this year.
Yeah. But he
Done
didn't have the
humbly.
points lead last week, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. You know, it's
But
been done
has he had
humbly.
some bad luck too, though?
At Dominion, no, we didn't run one race. So he's missed our whole race
Well,
at Dominion.
and that explains it.
Yes. So it's coming on back up through there.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, they're both fast.
Yes.
Did you have any, did they touch when Davey passed Peyton? Did they touch? Were you in the
I
race?
was not there.
Okay, okay.
I wasn't at the track.
Me neither. I was there with the first win Davey got when the car didn't even have decals.
I remember that.
But not the second one. So I wasn't sure if they touched or what was perceived about that.
Sure.
Not that it matters. What about, you said you don't have any other sponsors or anything you want to plug?
As of right now, you know, A Plus Roofing, Brock's Barbecue, Atlas 3M, Scotch Guard.
Let me look back 1 second. What inspired the paint to be like that? Or like, what was it just, is that kind of like y'all's logo for Brock's Barbecue back in the day was kind of like that? The paint on the U-car?
Buck just came up with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, was it decal?
Yeah,
I know the 9 was, but was
Yeah.
the yellow part decals?
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all had it wrapped,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It-
wow.
we sprayed it red,
Yeah.
and then he just put the decals on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that the yellow part was decals. I
Yeah.
just figured it was paint.
No, that was all
Back in those days, y'all were probably the only ones doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Us
I
and
was
Daniel.
hand painting my numbers back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Us and Daniel, you know, had pretty identical looking cars. His was blue though. Back then.
I don't remember him.
It's probably.
He's not big time. What's his name? Doesn't even matter. He's not big time Brock. Showtime Brock? What is it? Big Time Brock?
Big Time Brock. I mean, it's a little bit of everything, man.
Yeah. What was it? Another one?
Big Block Brock.
Yeah. Brickhead Brock.
Blockhead.
Blockhead Brock.
I mean, all sorts of nicknames, man.
What's your favorite one? Do you?
Also, my merchandise twin print for, we have our own website where you can go order directly.
Oh, really? That's dope.
So,
Go there, buy some merch.
link in bio. is
Really?
what I would say, yeah.
I don't think it. Oh well, in this bio, I don't know.
just, you know.
We don't even have a. It's literally untitled right now because it was like our 4th video. So sorry to you. I will have you back on once I got all the. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with that. I'll have you back on once I get all that fixed. What's up again, Howard? Just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody real quick.
Comments have been rather nice tonight, so.
I haven't been reading the bad ones.
Okay.
One guy said, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
He said, I hate Alex Brock. He wrecked me on iRacing. And when he did, I got really mad and I threw my beer bottle at the wall, but it accidentally hit my mom and knocked her out.
Nice.
That's what he said, dude.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Turn Left Podcast, episode 75. It was a wild one there at the beginning. Oh, my God. Sorry if the audio is a little off. Actually, to be honest, doesn't matter. Hopefully everything's good. I'll have you back as soon as I get everything fixed. Thanks for coming out, bro.
Thank you.
Really
Thank y'all for
appreciate
watching tonight. It was awesome.
Yeah, and like and share the video now, and find it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify tomorrow, and YouTube the day after. I need to get people watching on Facebook, then listening, then blah, blah, blah. Might do a fight companion tomorrow night. Might not with how everything's working now. So the UFC fight Nate Diaz tomorrow night. Might do a fight companion. Might not, leaning towards not right now, but are you a big UFC fan?
Man, I loved watching the fight the other night with the boxing one, though. With
Oh, really?
Mayweather and Paul.
I didn't watch that one live because it was Sunday night.
I mean, if you just typed in the fight on Facebook, there were so many people just streaming it and posting it on
Really?
Facebook. Yeah, so I wasn't paying $50.
No, I don't blame you. I wish I would have known that.
But, I mean, he lasted
The whole 8 rounds.
8 rounds, man. Everybody thinks it's staged, but I mean, he was taller and had the reach and
Way bigger.
everything.
Yeah.
So his brother's going for him next.
Yeah, he's fighting Tyron Woodley now.
I thought he was going to fight, one of them was going to
It's
fight
under
McGregor.
contract.
Okay.
No, okay. Jake Paul is fighting Tyron Woodley.
Okay.
Boxing match.
Oh,
Not
man.
MMA. But fight companion tomorrow night, maybe. Thanks for coming out again, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks y'all backstage, and like I said, find it tomorrow on YouTube and Spotify, or no, Spotify and Apple Podcast, and the next day after on Sunday, find it on YouTube. Thank you all, and peace out.